Welcome to the Archotechs, a RimWorld fluid ideology series about pursuing the Archonexus. Episode 59, Jungle Complete. To briefly recap, last episode we did a fair bit of hunting. We started off with an elephant hunt and then finished up with a polar bear hunt. How they came to find us in the tropical rainforest, I have no idea. We had sent Bunny to a worshipful village where she left her horse behind and also managed to come down with the flu. But we do have the first of 5 information about the venerated artifact, the Relic of Hegemony. There is another piece of information that will lure in Mechhive to us, but I'm hoping that Bunny will recover from her flu first. What I'm hoping to do this episode is to finish up the Cataphract Armor and then get the plasteel node that we found drilled as fast as we can so that I might be able to make Cataphract Armor for our trio and possibly also for No Luck and Zeleb. If you have yet to vote on the next stage of the Archonexus, the poll will be the pinned top comment. In that poll, you will determine the biome and rituals and who's coming to the next stage of the Archonexus. Another thing that I suspect will happen this episode is that Shield here will be dealt with, I guess is the nicest way to put it. She is on a lingering supply of Luciferium, and she has indeed found the plasteel, so we might reward her in some sort of token way. I'm not really sure yet. Sven is really only seconds away from finishing up Cataphract Armor, which is exciting. That's been a long-term goal for quite some time. We're getting pretty close to finishing all that we need to do for this stage of the Archonexus. If you're curious about the wealth, let's take a quick look at that again. So the wealth is almost 400,000, 387. As you can see, the wealth graph climbing and climbing as Trustin does more crafting. If you're wondering why I'm crafting, well, why not? Adding wealth probably will end up spicy and maybe I'll regret it, but it should be fun in the process. So here's the power lines going out to the deep drills. A little reminder that I'm not installing remote batteries because I don't even really have batteries or battery tech. So now that Cataphract Armor is done, we have other options here that, well, I'm not really sure what to undertake. I could do biosculpting pods, but none of our trio right now really need it. I suppose hospital beds might be okay, given Bunny's constant state of sickness. So I suppose that is the next most logical thing for us to do. The power lines to the deep drills are most of the way through. And Bunny's recovery should be pretty fast. She's getting tended with incredibly high quality medicine by a capable doctor. Do I regret not putting her on antibiotics? I don't know, maybe a little bit. But I feel like if she was on antibiotics, I would have just gotten different diseases that she wasn't protected from. Sort of a damned if you do, damned if you don't scenario. Let's also go ahead and put some sort of column out here so that whoever is mining can stay protected from the rain. Wouldn't be a terrible idea. The wolves are still getting trained, so they're fully done in hauling, but now it's for rescue. I don't suspect rescue is a task I'm going to need them to do, But in case, just in case, we'll queue it up anyway. Bunny, you seem to be out of bed. I don't believe that should be allowed. But while you're up, let's call on a bulk goods trader. So now that I do have cataphract armor, what I'm going to be doing is queuing up 3 prestige helmets and then 2 normal ones. This will, of course, only be made with Trustin. And then once they're done, that will signal in the next stage of the Archonexus. So let's have Trustin get that going underway. That also means that I'm going to need miners. So Slave 2 was recruited really solely for the purpose of mining. So Slave 2 will be the one up at the deep drills, and hopefully he won't get himself nibbled or summoning insects or anything like that. Now, taking a look at the requirements here, we also require 90 gold per helmet. We have just enough gold, but considering the helmets themselves also require advanced components, we might not have enough gold for all of that, taking into consideration the cost of the advanced components. So I think it might be wise to keep a shield on the ground pen scanner, and then maybe build a second one. I could fit a second scanner in the research room or somewhere in these hallways, like sticking it here, perhaps, or even in a outbuilding. But to double up the amount of ground pen scanning that we generate, in hopes that we find some gold nodes as well. Sterile materials is done. Let's go for hospital bed. Hospital bed and vitals monitor are going to be probably the last 2 pieces of research I do. And I don't even really think it's going to help Bunny, to be honest, because by the time that I have that done, she'll be recovered. But in case it is a true and ugly curse, I'll get it anyway, because she might just get sick again. You never know. So Slave 2, heading up to the deep drill. And there we have. There we go. Getting that drilled. Perfect. So here's the first prestige helmet. And as soon as No Luck can hit the production command, I'll get that going. Trustin also has work drive for 10 more hours. And as soon as Sven can hit him with a new work drive, I'll do just that. Gonna make sure that he is working as fast as he can, because I'd like to get out of this. Oh, well, that's gonna set me back. I'd like to get out of this this biome as soon as I can. He got hit with a carcinoma, which means that he is going to need medical tending. So I'm going to tend to it, and then I'm going to excise it. He'll be recovered from the anesthesia probably around the time that No Luck's production command comes off cooldown, and probably around the time that work drive comes off cooldown. So it's not entirely a setback. So Ashield's Luciferium needs are critical now. So I'm going to go take another dose before she loses it. And yes, I could schedule her, but I prefer to do it the way I'm doing it, which is one dose at a time if I think that she deserves it. It's cruel, and that's exactly the point. So I should be seeing my animal haulers come out here for the plasteel, and I don't yet. They're hanging around. There is a lack of continuous zoning, or contiguous zoning here, that I'll fix. Oh, look at all that. Oof. Denisha will clean it eventually. And Bunny needs yet another tending. So the hope is that the prestige helmets are better than the cataphract or the cataphract ones rather are better than the marine ones that I have. And that will allow me to stay better protected on the next map tile. And also they'll be worth more, carrying more wealth to the next map tile. The first one is Masterwork. So Masterwork helmet here has a sharp of 174 compared to a, let's try to compare it apples to apples. A Masterwork here has 153. So it is a big jump. And then of course, the prestige helmets that the trio has been wearing, they've been wearing this whole map time on this map tile. So they're worn down considerably. Like 60-something% or so. Of course, the quality also increases the hit points. So if you take a look, this Masterwork has a hit point of 180. Whereas, so the Prestige Marine helmet, that is Masterwork, has a hit point of 150. So it goes up by 30 hit points. And that compares to an Excellent of 150. So the hit point gain should allow it to last a little bit longer, which is very helpful when we lose the technology as we progress. And Shield is putting that bad boy on now. Looking good. Looking very good. I'll probably also have him recolor his low shield too, if he's going to wear it a while. And Bunny puts on his old helmet. I'm not going to bother dyeing that because we're phasing that out. Alright, where are my bulk goods traders? Why aren't you here yet? I'm impatient. We're at 388 wealth. So as far as I could tell, the plasteel up here has been getting hauled, which is good. Zleb, looks to me like you need another task. Well, oddly enough, my meat kind of decreased as a result of letting it rot or turning it into chem fuel. So I'll have Zleb hunt again. Work drive is on a 9-hour cooldown, and production command on a 7-hour cooldown, so very soon we should see a remarkable increase in Trustin's productivity. And I even have some slaves idle. I guess I'll allow the planting of rice. I don't really need more food, but I'll grab it anyway. So for the non-prestige helmets here, the regular cataphract helmets, they just require advanced components and plasteel. They don't have the gold requirements. So I might be able to eke them out. And there is yet another Masterwork, which is glorious. And Trustin is wearing it. Hospital beds are done, and the vitals monitors will be last. I will make one hospital bed, however. So this isn't a sterile room, and I might make it into a sterile room. We could have done that a long time ago in order to speed up research rate, and it's just something that I had left to do and never did. But I'm going to make sure that the hospital bed itself is constructed by Trustin and not No Luck because of quality control. So let's get Trustin up there now. So it's a masterwork bed. And I'm going to have Bunny rest until healed. So the difference here is a immunity gain of 107 versus an immunity gain of 111. And then as we sterilize the room, that will increase the treatment quality as well. And then we are getting vitals monitor research, which will increase immunity gain yet again. And here comes my bulk goods trader that I called in all too long ago. So we're not quite sterile yet, but we're getting there. Alright, where is the Packed Wazzalonium going? And, wow, the amount of filth that you are making in my base is frustrating. Just walking your farm animals through my fortress, so disrespectful. Bunny is in an incredibly bad mood. Gotta be careful about that. So Sven, when you're up, go trade with the bulk goods. And also hit work drive on Trustin. And the last helmet is also masterwork. So all three of the trio will have the same quality helmet. Now, they're not going to have enough money for all of this necessarily. So I sure hope there's stuff for me to buy. Not really. They don't even have gold. I'll buy a low shield pack. Alright, that's good enough. We just need to stay allied with the Packed Wazzalonium. So I'm not going to gift them anything unless it is needed. We'll just be the bare minimum relationship. Bunny should be recovered at the end of this last treatment. And it looks like Zleb already has a cataphract helmet. Oh, but we still have a prestige left unmade. Probably due to a lack of plasteel. Because it looks like we have literally just the right amount of gold. 90 gold, which is exactly what we need. So I'm going to suspend the making components advanced components. Because if we make even one advanced component, we end up losing the amount of gold. Now, what I could do is smelt the old helmets. The old prestige helmets and try to recoup some of the material. But at this point, I think we're just waiting for more plastable to be mined up so that we can make the rest of the armor. Which is something that Bunny can work on once she is recovered. The vitals monitor research. Sven is deciding to meditate and recreate instead. And there we go. Now we have a mostly sterile, a sterile hospital with a masterwork bed. Dramatically reduces infection chance. Not that that is a problem for Bunny. She doesn't have any open wounds that could be infected. Ooh, legendary. How's my wealth now? Oh, just about 400k. We'll be hitting 400k in minutes. One more art piece and we'll hit it. So, Trustin is idle, which means that there are no more materials to make. I'm going to start to allow Double Strand for the corsets. Or, alternatively, aim for legendary shirts and pants. I'm going to do that. That's probably more productive, I think. So if we can get legendary shirts and pants, they'll last us a long time. Hey! Shields, Alzheimer's has been cleared and cured due to Luciferium. Wow, that is a big boon. Obviously. So Bunny is now immune, and this will allow her to help out with the deep drill mining, which has been taking a while for that plasteel. And, ooh, a legendary piece of art. And then after we get the plasteel, it might be wise to attempt to call in an exotic goods trader at next chance. I'm sure they're on cooldown, but let's see what their cooldown is. Just 24 hours. So tomorrow at 1900, we'll call in an exotic goods. And there we go. We have a legendary shirt. We're probably going to burn through all of our double strand trying to get the other one. But this puts us easily over 400k. Very little effort there. Also looking at my current armor, the Locust Armor on the trio is very, very high percent, but No Luck and Zleb's armor is lower, so that's one more thing I might want to do, is to attempt to make one more Locust Armor before I leave as well, to make sure that No Luck and Zleb's armors will hold up for the next map tile and not need to be replaced. That isn't necessarily accounting for damage taken, because of course when you get shot, your armor wears out a lot more, and it's quite possible that Zleb or No Luck get shot a lot, but at least I'll attempt to have them ready for the next map tile with the best armor possible. Alright, I'm going to take Bunny off of bed rest, have her go up to the deep drill. She's immune, so I'd rather have her working. And she also hasn't been able to meditate in a while, so she's going to get her psi focus back up. Travelers desire aid. That's cute. Oh, nice. The boomalo exploded on them. pretty much what I was about to do, but they saved me the trouble. All right, let's go help them out. They want almost 6,000 silver from me. I mean, I have the money, but I don't have the tolerance. So here is the rifles used on humanoids rather than mechs. They are highly effective. And this person here can be sacrificed for fun. It's not something we've done in a while. So there's two ways to sacrifice prisoners. There is the public execution, which helps to maximize suppression in spectating slaves. And then there's the Arco offering, which is just a different type of way to kill prisoners, which has nothing to do with executions. It's just an offering to the Archotechs. So we'll be kicking one of those off in a minute, once she's conscious. Oh, a panther hunting Zleb for food? That's a horrible idea. One burst and it's dead. Yeah, you don't hunt the hunter, my friend. That's a terrible idea. So this is the last cataphract helmet I require, and then the last prestige cataphract helmet we're going to be waiting on for when we acquire 75 plasteel, which is not so much. The other thing I could do, like I said before, is to melt down some of the unwanted armor that we have in the colony to add plasteel. And I might go ahead and do that. So what I'm going to do is a smelt apparel, do forever, and this will be prestige marine helmets and Recon Armor. Because we have a piece of Recon Armor that I could part with, and then 2 prestige marine helmets that I could part with. And this will increase the amount of material that I have. So here's one of the helmets getting melted down. And you'll see the direct benefit in just a second. So it produced 12 plasteel, 2 gold. It's not much, but because I easily have passed my wealth requirement, I'm now at 65,000 more than I need to ascend the next Archonexus. We can afford to melt down some armor for new armor. Recycling. Or upcycling. And a cataphract helmet for no luck. Everything's been masterwork so far, so I hope that trend continues for Bunny's last helmet. So the Recon Armor is 2 uranium and 20 plasteel. So it's not like I can solely just melt down armors for the plasteel, but that plus the deep drilling definitely will help. Now, Ace Shield is currently wearing the cataphract helmet, and obviously that is not something I want her to do. So I'm going to have her force wear the Recon Armor, so that she's not wearing the incorrect thing. We're getting kind of close to our plasteel requirements. Oh, there we go. Trustin'. We've hit it, so it must just be at the deep drills up here. And yep, yes it is. So this is the last armor. Well, I wanted the Locust Armor too. In fact, I might even want 2 of these Locust Armors for both Zleb and No Luck. But I also don't want to push my luck. So if we take a look at the protection here, sharp protection is in the 130-140 range, which is very high. Zleb's actually at 145 because of the legendary Thrombo Fur. That's another thing I'm kind of worried about, is running out of pants. So let's stop with the formal shirts and start making spare pants. And what I could do before I ascend to the next Archonexus is to force wear clothing that might be slightly lower quality, but more hit points in order for it to last longer. Because we do have some legendary shirts out here. They're going to last a while, but I just, you know, I might need to force them to wear it instead. So we'll do a full inventory of our gear to make sure that it is built to last. Surprisingly, I have not found anything from the ground pen scanner, but I think it's really only a matter of time. The guaranteed find is coming up very soon. Wow, another legendary piece of art. And the vital monitor is finally done. So with that, I'm going to shut these two things down and then possibly add another scanner in. So I might just put a scanner out here. And then have Sven use the inside one and Shield use the outside one. Something like that. I don't really think that I'm going to need that much in terms of material. Let's not even bother. I really highly doubt I'm even going to require it. So the last Cataphract helmet, unfortunately, was only excellent quality. I'm going to have Sven wear the excellent one, so that Bunny can wear the Masterwork one, because the likelihood is that Bunny gets shot a lot more than Sven does. As she is our Bloodlust Hunter, and he is a Psycaster, a support Psycaster at that. Our wealth is now at a 416, incredibly high. And all that's left to make is Locust Armor. Unfortunately for me, Locust Armor requires considerable amounts of plasteel, so what I'm hoping to do is to call on an exotic goods trader for that plasteel to be able to jumpstart this a little bit. And let's take a look at the other material. So, advanced components, which I have, uranium, which I believe I have. Yep, I have the uranium for it. And then components and chem fuel, which I have as well. So it should not be a problem other than the plasteel. The plasteel is the only thing holding it up. Wow. No, like, how'd you manage to make a good sculpture? That is an incredibly low roll for someone who's sitting at 20 art. Surprising. Not that it matters, but surprising nonetheless. Well, those deep drills are rocking. So I will need about 130 more plasteel total. No, a little bit more. 100 and... How much do I have? We need 240 total. Okay. So we need about 160 or so to complete. That's very doable. I could also melt down the Recon helmet that I have spare. And in fact, for a shield, I could put a shield in non-armor. Taking off the Recon Armor and melting all that down. And I think I'm actually going to do that. She is not really a combatant. She's old. She's kind of frail. And I'd rather her not wear anything. So, Recon helmets and Recon Armor. Helmets need to be added to the smelt apparel here. melt those down to be repurposed. Oh, we have a raid from the Vema Alliance, a Prepare a While raid. One probably can assume what I'm going to do to 131 humans that are coming in. So we're going to issue an inside zone and a slaves inside zone. This is yet another instance of the Olmec burning head being fed. So JD, it looks like you're idle. I'm going to have you flip-flop the doors that I have so that they could come in through the left side, because it seems like the most likely point of attack. And then, Shield, take that helmet off. And we'll have Sven just smelt it now. Well, Shield, your getup looks a little strange, but I will dye it if that's what you want to wear. Alright, get JD to finish flip-flopping the doors. And then as soon as Shield's done dyeing clothing, I'm going to have her set the head on fire. 131 tribals, and I don't have to lift a finger, I don't think. We also need someone who will stay in the kill box. So one thing I will note, which I don't think I've really said before, and if I did, it's worth repeating myself. The only way that these sort of kill boxes work is if there is a clear path for the raiders to come attack someone. So if you have a kill box like this, and you don't have a clear path for them to come walk to one of your colonists, this sort of kill box will not work. They will just bash random doors and walls down. So that's something really, really, really important to note, is that you need someone to be a human target, bait. Because if you don't have bait, they won't come, and they will knock a path to you. So someone needs to stand to be able to be walk accessible from this maze, meaning outside the inner walls. Whether it's JD or whether it's Shield, it doesn't really matter. It just needs to be someone, and not an animal. Someone that they'd want to kill. That is a really large alliance. An invisible person with a Doomsday launcher could probably clear that entire raid in one shot. I don't have such weapons, as you can see. But boy, it would be tempting. That would be a lot of kills. Alright, looks like Droiden's idle, so I'm going to have Droiden and Shield switch places. I got to be careful that that Shield doesn't... Oh, there we come. So now, what happens when they're beginning their assault is they basically are... Think of it as like a RTS. They are given an attack order to something that they can attack. Ideally a colonist. So now that I have Droiden sort of waiting out here for them, instead of knocking my doors down, which is only just thin wooden doors, they will come marching into the Olmec head and die instead. Way more fun. So Droiden's just going to stand here as a offering. And here is the second to last Locust Armor that we require. Now, I may have set the fires a little too early, but they still seem to be working. The room is 300 degrees and hot. And then, just in case some of them make it through, I'll send my shooters up here just sort of waiting for them to arrive. Because some will likely make it as the fire's burned, but most will collapse and die. And then the other thing to note is that as more people go through this maze, the people themselves become set on fire, and then they're generating more heat to be able to spread the heat around and make it even less tolerable for everyone subsequently entering. The other benefit is Bunny will be very, very happy having killed someone and watched a bunch of people die. And it's also shooting experience, I guess. So Jordan, you can probably leave, as these guys aren't likely to make it very far. Now, oddly enough, I don't even have Berserker Pulse. I have so many sidecasts, but Berserker Pulse has not been one of them. Because if you managed to hit a Berserker Pulse here, it would be pure chaos and they would probably annihilate themselves very quickly. So the raid was with 131, and after half of them collapse, they will retreat. So after 66 of them drop to the ground, which is obviously hard to count. But when there's only 66 remaining upright and vertical, we're done. Oh, we're scanning uranium underground. That's not bad. And there they go. The flaming Olmec head satisfied. And the amount of, like, tribal weapons? Ridiculous. I don't even think I'm going to capture any of them. I don't want them. We're about to leave this map tile, so it would just add labor. So instead, I will unrestrict... everybody here so that we can put the fires out and then reset the trap. Because so far, nothing of the maze has been destroyed. Or nothing of the kill box, rather, but the fire will eventually spread into the kill box, and that will become a problem. So it's best to put the fire out manually, which is annoying and takes a long time. But it's a way for the cabling and the turrets and everything else not to burn. So this is designed to be reset relatively easily. And done. Those are the flooring that burned and didn't get put out in time. And now that the fire's out, we can wall it up again. Now the only really important things is to move the ICLA here, so that these doors close, because obviously they provide a massive shortcut to the maze. And then to build that last wall, and that's about it. It will be fully reset. Fantastic. So the Locust Armor that we have here, we have a Masterwork, and Shield needs to take off the other one. But what that means is that we have 2 spare armors. I'm going to have Zaleb, who's the shooter, wear the Masterwork one, and then No Luck will wear the Excellent one. And I realize I don't even need that Locust Armor, because we already have this. We had the Excellent spare one. done. All that is left to do for next episode is to go through all of the clothing, making sure that we're wearing the best stuff possible, and then to ascend the next stage of the Archonexus. So just a little reminder to all of you, if you have yet to vote in the poll, please do so, because it will be your last chance. And that, my friends, is all the time I have. Thank you for tuning in to the Archotechs, episode 59, Jungle Complete. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you have yet to vote, please do so now. The top pinned comment has the form. Thank you so very much for watching. A special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel. I'll catch you next episode. Farewell.